does a committee member want to call a meeting to order?
This is Tucker Braddock. I'll call the meeting to order.
Okay, great. Everyone has the agenda. No, you
Do
need
we
a
have a
second.
quorum? Do we have a quorum?
I believe we do. Can everyone, Kathy, can you hear us? Kathy? Dan, can you hear us?
I can hear you.
All right. So Kathy, Tiana's on her way up. Her mic's not on. Bear with us. This is.
Yeah, I was having technical difficulties getting on my computer this morning. Is the sun in line with something?
I think it's just another day in COVID.
Oh.
Hey, out.
What?
Sun is out.
I know the sun is out. I'm just saying, is it in line with, Mars or Venus or something? I'm having I couldn't get on the computer this morning.
In line with you, Stacy.
So I'm on the phone.
Well, we're going to proceed then, I guess, unless.
No. Do we have a quorum?
We do have a quorum. Provided Kathy can actually hear us, we should have a quorum. We had a second to call the meeting to order. Is that
Certainly.
correct? Okay.
Yes.
So the first order of business is to approve the minutes. If everyone wants to take a glance at the minutes and
Ask me if that's better.
is this better? We just added a new device, audio device.
Yes, it sounds good.
Okay, good. So, anything on the minutes?
I will move, Tucker Braddock will move the minutes.
I'll second. Stacy Gould.
Okay, great. Thank you. Okay, so we're on to the basically new business, which is
Let's
all.
vote on-
I'm sorry.
Let's vote on that. Let's vote on that.
Okay.
All in favor?
All in
Aye.
favor of approving the minutes?
Oh, there's Kathy. Aye.
Hi.
Hi.
Aye.
Aye.
I'm having a really hard time with feedback.
Sounds like unanimous to me.
Okay. Okay, so we have approval of the minutes. So we have one piece of new business regarding a previous amendment to the program policies and procedures, which you should all have a document dated September 2021 meeting. It's a copy of the meeting September 19th, 2018. Does everyone have that copy?
I'm sure I have it. I'm not where it's not right in front of me. No.
Attachment.
Okay, it's an attachment. It should come in. It should have come in a package that Tian sent out to everybody
As an attachment.
as an attachment.
It,
Why don't you just bring it up and enlighten us?
Okay, so I'm going to summarize. September 19th, 2018, there was discussion and a vote to, can they hear me? Okay. To essentially add a clause to the policies and procedures for the rehabilitation program. What this did was it gave the city manager at the discretion of the department head, which would be Kathy, the ability to look at a property that was, say, delinquent of taxes, and if it was deemed there was a health or public interest to fund the project, in certain situations that allowed the city manager to override the policies and procedures that all taxes had to be paid and due to the city prior to funding for the program. So essentially, the scenario that brought this amendment up was a poison child. The applicant had past taxes due. They were on a payment plan to the city. But as the policies were at that time, we could not fund the project to correct the housing issues. So the policy was put forth to give the city manager the ability to waive that so we could actually fund that property. So that was done back in 2018. What we didn't envision then is a similar situation where it was a lien on the property. So we've now got another property that has a lien, relocation lien from Human Services. They are on a payment plan. Human Services is content with that. But because the language is not in there regarding liens, we don't have that same ability for the city manager at the direction of the department head to then consider that property for funding. So what we're proposing is the second document you should have received is just to add a clause that says taxes, city or utility liens to the same clause. That way it would give the city manager at the direction of the department head the ability to consider properties that fit the criteria to then be funded.
So do you need, in the form of a motion, Wayne, that we
Yeah.
accept that language?
Yeah, we would need a vote to include that language for those additional situations with city or utility liens to be considered at the discretion of the city manager for funding. That's what we're putting forward is for a vote. If there are any questions about it, I'd be happy to answer that. I know Kathy is fully in the loop on this as well. But does anyone
Kathy, and
questions first, I guess, is the best.
I have
Sure.
a question.
I can't hear anything because it keeps cutting out.
Okay, Tucker, go ahead.
Okay, the question is this. If Kathy and the city manager want to waive the taxes and the lien clause or add it as an amendment, what's the purpose of the committee?
The purpose of the committee is to discuss and monitor the language and the rules that are imposed for the program. But this is just if you read the language, this is in specific situations where it's deemed as a public health issue or it's in the betterment of the city's interests. So it's only in the specific clause that we envisioned it as like the two situations that came up. There's a poisoned child in a property. We have the funds to do it, but all the policies and procedures as they were written said
I'm
that.
sorry if I'm cutting in on anyone because I can't really hear, just to let you know. But this would follow a resolution or an ordinance that had been passed that follows the same thing if they want to get a building permit. That the city manager, if it's a health or if, crisis or anything like that, has the right to override it. So it's just keeping the same language that's in that ordinance for our program to be able to have the same waivers.
And I just want to input on that as well, is that the difference is too, is that for building permits, only taxes are the only reason why we can't issue a building permit. Liens are not part of it. So if a property has relocation liens or any other type of liens through NP or whatever, we don't have ability to stop them from getting a building permit, only taxes. So again, that would kind of fall in line with that as well.
Yeah, we actually, I believe when we initially came up with putting this before the board in 2018, at least in my mind, I was considering under the umbrella of, it's more of a language issue because liens are in our policies and procedures and prevent us from funding a specific property unless they can be overridden by this clause. We just never actually included the lien language. We only included taxes. So that's what we're trying to amend now, is to include the lien aspect of the language that can be considered as well in a situation where it's a health and safety issue. And again, the mechanism is Kathy would be the only person, the department head, to be able to then recommend to the city manager that, okay, we have a situation that fits the criteria of health and safety, and it's a lien on the property. We would like to fund this property. And then the city manager can consider, okay, is this person paying, for instance, on a lien? Are they on a payment plan or taxes? And then make a decision that it's in the best interest of the city and public safety and health, public health and safety, to go forward and then fund that project. As it is, we can do that for tax issues now. We can't do it for liens because liens were not specifically in the clause that was approved.
That is,
Wayne,
and that, right, that will exclude the NPU liens.
What do you mean by exclude?
We don't really know about them. Is that correct?
No, this is the language we want to include is that so right now, the way it's written, if for a person to be eligible for the program for funding through lead or rehab,
right,
it simply states that all city taxes and liens have to be paid up to date. The clause that was put in 2018 gave an exemption in the specific cases that there was a health issue, like a poisoning, that would then allow us to, at the discretion of the city manager, fund that project. Say somebody has, that they're on a payment plan for taxes and they're in good standing, and they apply to us. The city manager could then say, okay, they're on a good payment plan. We are going to allow funding for this project to take care of the safety and health issue for the child. All we're trying to do, that's in place as of the 2018 meeting. All we're trying to do is add utility liens and other liens throughout city liens, such as relocation could be utility liens, to that clause. So when the same situation arises, then the city manager would have the same discretion in those situations to say, okay, there's a lien, but they're on a payment plan or they're in good standing. It's a health and safety issue. We can go ahead and fund that project. It's basically closing the loop on language in the policy, so it's all encompassing.
Okay.
This is Tian. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay.
Tucker.
Tucker, I just wanted to add also, the lien doesn't go away. The lien isn't forgiven. It stays on the property. It stays due. It just is
Right.
allowing us to move forward with the funding for the program. So it's not like the city manager or Kathy are waiving the lien itself. It's just allowing us to fund it and get into our program. So I just
Yeah.
thought that was noting.
Yes. I understand that, Tian.
Okay, all right.
And in
Thank
only
you.
situations. It's not like if somebody has no extenuating circumstances and they have a relocation lien, this is only in the situation where we envision a health and safety issue like a poisoned child. That's really the only situation I can think that would trip this clause.
Okay. I'm good with it.
I'm good with it.
Does anyone want to bring a vote?
Any other?
So I'll
I
make
vote
the
in
motion
favor.
that we add the language that Wayne
I was-
discussed.
I will second that motion. Tucker Braddock.
All in favor?
Aye.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Ayes have it.
Okay, great. Thank you all.
Oh, one more thing. Are you all set?
Yeah.
Okay. Just wanted to let you guys know, that the 2022 schedule of meetings was due to the clerk's office, so I put that together. Same second Tuesday of every month, 9 a.m. If you guys could just take a look at it, make sure I didn't schedule it on a holiday. Hold on one second, sorry. I think I lost somebody. I'll let him back in.
No, you didn't lose anybody.
I thought I had to let someone back in. Okay. Yeah, so if you could just take a look at that, and just either accept it, as a communication so I can forward it to city clerk's office.
Tucker Braddock, I accept this scheduling for 2022.
Okay, thank you. Can I get a
I'll
second?
second it.
Is that Rodney?
Yeah.
Okay.
Rodney
thank-
Boy, I'll accept it.
Okay, thank you. Okay,
There's no new business.
new business.
Does anyone have any other questions?
Hold on one second.
I'll motion to adjourn.
Second, Tucker Braddock.
All in favor?
In favor.
Aye.
Thank
All
you.
right, thank you guys. Have a good day.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Good day, everyone.
Thanks. You
Thanks,
too.
Grace, you too.
Yeah.
See how many times I cut out? I
Yeah,
couldn't keep a
it's-
connection.
It's weird
I
sometimes.
couldn't hear, I couldn't keep a connection.
Well, we